we go. And we're live. And we're live. And we're live. Let the entire world know I'm here. I'm gonna get myself set ready. It's on. Wish I had theme music. Kind of wish I had theme music. I want theme music. You know, but that whole copyright thing. Good morning. Good morning, lovies. Happy Sunday. Well, everybody gets logged in, and I will start off with some goody goodies. Good morning. Good morning, Lisa, Dawn, Miriam, Jessica, Catherine, Sandy, Linda, Dolores, Tara. My Jennifer is here. Becky and T. Is it Tia? And Jessica and Kimberly and Swell. I love that name, Swell. Francine. Good morning for your daughter. How is Dom? Dom is not allowed to be freed. Maybe I'll free Dom on my 1-year anniversary. Maybe we'll finally free him. Right now he's got a wanted poster in my house because they put free Dom sign everywhere all over my house. I will open the microwave and there's free Dom. I will go into the bathroom and there's free Dom. My dry erase board has free Dom. I open up the silverware drawer and yep, there it is. There's some free Dom. So, yep, it will be the joke that will never ever die, and I'm trying to make it die. Good morning, Melissa, Janice, Mary, Alina, Margaret, Lauren, Dorothy. Look at a lot of great info. Oh, I hope so. I'm here. Here. The party's here. Jody's here. Good morning, Patricia Gorski. Good morning, Felicia and Peggy and Mandy and Renee and Bobby. And I really need to have one of those glass mirror frame things and do a romper room. Really needs a romper room moment. All right. Let's get this party started. Until we lose internet. All right. I'll try to get it all in before you lose the internet. All right. Let's do this. Good morning, Judy. Moving up. We are heading to Housewares. Level 13. I mean, why not level 13? That sign will never die. It will never die. And Sarah's watch it, so she's going to get a giggle out of this. She just logged in. Remember Romper Room? Right? That just shows how old we are. I see Mandy and Carl and... Right? Isn't that the show? Where she looks into the... I don't know. I just work here. Everybody say good morning to Sarah. Little turd. Sassy one, Kenobi. You're right. Oh, I'm sassy, all right. There's no doubt about that one. Good morning, Todd Downing. All right. Everything's up and ready to go. And good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I'm going to move the iPad because it works better if I can look at the camera and look down here and then I don't look like I'm all over the place. Somebody asked me when I do my lives, what goes into setting up a live? Well, I know I can only speak for myself just because I probably have the most low tech. Then there's Todd and then there's Amy and we just can't even describe what she does and whatnot. So, for me, it's making sure my tripod's in the right spot and figuring out my angles and where I want to go. And God, this fan's going to drive me nuts today with my hair. But it's hotter than Hades here in my shop right now. So there's that.
So it's just crazy. It's crazy. Whatnot. But good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the Sass for June 30th. I first want to give an absolute huge shout out to one person who I greatly missed last week. And you don't know how much you miss something till it's not there, and that is Miss Jennifer. Jennifer is Stan's wife, and she comes on Sunday, and she is my backup person when it comes to all things the Sass. She helps me out by posting links and whatnot. Billy was doing it, but Billy totally dropped me because he decided to work at the campground all summer. So Jen has graciously stood in, and I graciously miss her, and graciously thank her, I should say. I missed her dearly last week, not having her there and knowing that I had my little comfort zone, and that would be Jen. So, that is my Jennifer. I absolutely love her. She is a total gem and very much a true, honest person. And so she was greatly missed last week, so I get to have her back again. Yay! I mean, I know her and Stan needed the vacation. But you know what? I kind of got to the point where it was like, all right, let's go. Come home. I'm ready for you to be home. So there you go. I missed Jennifer last week. So we're going to talk about take two. We're going to talk about a few other things. Oh, Lord. If this is how it's going to be all day, we're totally screwed. If Nikki can't find her words, we're in trouble. So we have a couple things that we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about the seatbelt covers. We're going to press one of those. And I wanted to be honest with you. This was the first one I pressed, and I had to figure out why everybody was getting this. How did I get this? And what I had to do, and what I had to change, and how I had to make this work. Because everybody kept getting something like this. I'm like, okay. I didn't recreate it on purpose. It just kind of happened, and then I had to work through the process. So I, too, make mistakes or can't figure things out, and I got to revisit. This was the second one, and it pressed absolutely beautifully. This seam that you see right down here, that's just where it bends. So when you're bending this around, the template fits, but there's some things I want to talk to you about the template we're going to talk about. I'm just folding this. Whoops. Yep. So it does fit. Yes, you will end up with that crease because that's where it folds over on the Velcro part of it. So I really wouldn't worry too much about that. You really just want to be able to see that. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit. So we're going to talk about that. La, 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 la. I'm going to press one of Amy's larger linen. I've been dying to get these in. You have absolutely no idea. One of her larger linen placemats. We're going to be doing that. Behind me. Let's talk about what's behind me. Here's my definitely ghetto setup here. So we're going to do an and more section this Sunday. Again, holy, I need my words. So this Sunday we're going to do an and more part, and that is where it's nothing sublimation, but everybody asks how to make a skirt, the ribbon skirts. And I'm going to teach you guys. We're going to up close on how to do these and how you pair them with one of Stan's onesies. You add a little headband, and now you've got an amazing first birthday outfit, 4th of July, anything. And I'm going to show you how to theme this out. I literally make hundreds of these a year. This has been my mainstay business for, gosh, forever, is tutus and hair bows. So I'm going to show you guys how to do this. And then we're going to talk about this. I am in love. I wasn't so sure. I was going to be. I didn't think I could love one of these 9-panel blankets. You normally can get them from the other major vendors, but we're going to talk about this. This is the one that's coming from Amy, and I gotta tell you, as everybody knows, total quality snob, and there's some trips. Oh, it's going to be a Sunday. Tips and tricks for pressing these. You know what? I'm going to go grab my coffee. And I'll read the scroll, and I'll be right back. I apparently can't talk this morning, Sarah. Oh, dear Lord. If you can't see her, come back in. Yes. Don't worry, Francine. She has now, the blanket is now listed on her site. It is done as a pre-order. We'll talk to you about that. It takes 30 days to get here. So honestly, we're going to talk about how this is going to be great for Christmas. I sold about 30 of these last Christmas. And then the Christmas before, my numbers grew every Christmas. So I sold the 9-panel blankets last year. So that we'll talk about that. If you just type in Placemats, but separate the word place and mat. I did it as one word, I couldn't find it. But if you do place and mats, then you'll find her linen placemats that's in the coaster section and whatnot. You'll find those. I'm going to talk about those with you. And then the seat covers. Use the search feature on any of their websites. I mean, it's so much easier than trying to scroll through their shop. I got to be honest, that's what I do. I kind of know what the item is or what they might have named it, and I just start typing it in the search bar, and bam, there it is. So use that feature by all means. Listen. Good morning, Kevin, Jen says. They're the faces behind Coney Island and LPB Designs. Our Kevin is my shipping guy for LPB Designs. Sarah is my comedy relief. And Joe is the mysterious child that you will never see just because Joe is Joe. And then there's Jen, who is, I tell her she's the brains behind Coney Island. But shh, don't tell Stan. So there you go. So that's who we have in the house this morning. Let me see what we got going on. Can everybody see me? Can everybody hear me? I mean, if you can't hear me, we really need to figure this all out. Because I am loud. True story. See, Jen can hear me, so apparently we're good. Can you do car mats one day? I know Amy's looking to get car mats. I haven't done them, and here's why I haven't done the car mats. I'll be completely honest with you. The ones that are the large shaped ones, there's a reason I haven't done them. They don't fit on my press, and I really don't want a piece. Okay, here's the whiny part of me. Once you go from a 400 to an 800 in a Sawgrass, or you get that larger Epson printer, and you start printing 13 by 19, 13 by 21, it's really hard to go back to piecing stuff if you can avoid it. So, yeah. So when you guys all ask me to piece stuff, you have to understand one thing. I get giggly because I'm like, crap, I haven't pieced in almost 9 months. I'm almost a year. I'll have my Sawgrass in October. I think I bought it last year. And I gotta be honest, I haven't pieced since then. And then when you guys ask me to piece, I'm like, oh, I gotta remember how I did that. See, it's what happens when you upgrade. You get to cut out a bunch of steps you didn't have to worry about. Stop whining, you. Who told me stop whining? You know how to do it. I do know how to do it. I'm just stomping my feet. Yes, everybody sees the sign. Damn free Don. He really needs to just stay in jail. All right. Let me get this stuff over here. Ready? All right. So first things first. Whoopsies. Let's talk about these blankets, these 9-panel blankets. We're going to sit and we're going to talk about those this morning. We're also going to press the last 2 spots on my blanket because I've already started pressing it, as you can see. There's different things you definitely need to know about these versus the ones that you get from like Condi and Johnson Plastics. They have vapor ones that are 100%, I believe they're 100% poly. These are a 20% cotton, 80% polyester, which actually gives them a lot more softer hand feel. So let's pull this off and let's get started. So this is just amazing when it comes to, oh, I pulled a thread. Goodness gracious, I did something on this. There we go. I can show you quickly this. All right. I know you're not going to be able to see all of it right this second. I'll pull the camera back so that you can, and whatnot. Maybe I'll make Kevin come in and we'll talk about it. He might have to be on camera. Poor Kevin. So here's the thing. With this having 20% cotton, I found that it shrunk. Not that that's a bad thing. I like the soft hand feel. Actually, I love the soft hand feel. And let me tell you something too. With this being black and white, and the other ones having the colored threads, I really feel, because you can see here. Yes, they're white on the other ones, but I really feel like the colored threads really play into how your print comes out. I have to be honest, as much as I have done a ton of vapor ones, the facial printing wasn't as crisp and clear as it is on these. And I really feel like a lot of it has to do with the fact that this is just black and white. So it's neutral tones so that it plays off and it helps for printing. Just put that on my desk. So it just plays off. I mean, look at the color. All right. The color is absolutely amazing on this. All right. And as you can see, I did 3 panels here. Obviously, this is going to my daughter's boyfriend, who is headed back to Minnesota. So, you know, this is what we're working on today. Now, when I first did it, because I didn't realize that there was going to be some shrinkage. All right, when I first did it, I measured my square, and it was like 11 by 18. So I did my bleed and whatnot, and I'll show you what happens. It shrinks so much so. Let me get in front of the camera here. That you could see that, you see that line up at the top? That's because my design was way too big. All right. Because all of a sudden, while I was pre-pressing it, I watched it, and because it has the cotton in it, I watched it shrink up. But it created a perfect rectangle for me once I pre-pressed it. So pre-pressing is absolutely vital to these blankets, okay? It is, like I said, they're super soft. I cannot even believe how soft these are for being this kind of a blanket. They're not Stan Baby's blanket soft. They're not that kind of a blanket, so don't get that in your head. Remember, when you have these twill type blankets, there's a hand feel to them where you want them to be soft and not scratchy. And I really feel like the Vapor ones have a scratchiness to them. This is super soft for me. And like I said, I've handled enough of these to know. So, after some rigmarole, once you get this pressed and this shrinks up, your image space, and Amy has a template for it already, because her and I were up late chatting about it. This will shrink down when it's not pressed. It's measuring about 11 by 18. Okay, but you have to pre-press it. Once you pre-press it, this shrinks up a little bit, tightens up that weave, which is perfect for getting better quality pictures, okay, because if you have a loose weave, you lose the detail in their faces. But if you notice on my daughter, you see a lot of those details. I think that's key, and that's vital to getting a good press, because it does shrink up and it tightens up these fibers in here. So having that little bit of cotton is a plus and a bonus. I really feel that. So this will shrink down to, I think it's by like 10 3/4 is the template we did, by 17 3/4, 17 1/2, whatever it is on hers. Use what she has. We figured it out. So, and I will show you. You literally have to trim your image though to make sure that you line it up, because if you don't, you get this beautiful white line. See, I thought I could eyeball it, and clearly, you know, at 11:30 at night, eyeballing it was not an idea. So definitely trim up, do your due diligence, trim up all of your papers, your images, and then just lay it on. We're gonna work on that. Let me see if there's any questions so far. You get them at hailbound.com. What was it after it was pressed? You mean after the pre-press? Like I said, it's about 10 3/4 by like 17 1/2 is roughly the image. She has a template for it. And I'll show you all of that momentarily. Are we all set there? Okay, good. What size image file did you use? The 10 3/4. Did I miss that part? I might have, sorry. I used 10. You can piece it if you want to and do like I did here, where it's a collage. You can definitely piece these. And that's how I had to, because I used to do these with my 400. So you could definitely piece them together to get the 10 3/4 by the 18. I mean, definitely. All right. I'm going to get this on the press. I do not put a bottom sheet on this because I just don't, but I do put a top sheet. So, I want to show you guys. Let me get this started. Give me 2 seconds. And I'm going to see if I can't show you guys how much this shrinks. Let me lower the platen. Oh, 300. All right. Let's talk about this. So right now this is measuring. We're using Big Papa today too. Big Papa gets to play. I don't know if you're going to see this. Watch this. You're going to see this move when I put this down as a pre-press. All right? Watch this move. And this is how I realized how much it shrank. All right, let me get my protective paper ready. And my image. And my tape. All right. So, I'm going to give it a quick pre-press. And it's 10-second pre-press. You definitely want a good solid 10. So watch this. Watch and see if you can see this move. I have never seen anything move like this before. But, like I said, if it's going to give me a better quality image, I am all down for it. It's going to be slow. All of a sudden, I don't know if you guys can see that. Do you see it shrinking? Isn't that amazing? It's pulling those fibers in, okay? But now I've got a perfect, rectangle. So it pulled in all of those cotton fibers and tightened it up so that this weave is not so wide. And I think that's huge for image quality. So, if you've done your due diligence, which clearly I didn't, but I'm still gonna, goodness gracious, hold on. I might have trimmed it too much. That might have been a me problem. Yeah, I did. I don't feel like reprinting them. Maybe I will. Need just a little bit. So make sure I trimmed this. This was a me problem. This was not even remotely a template problem. This was totally a me problem. Give me 1 second. I want to reprint that. Because I don't want this to be wrong. So I do apologize. Give me 2 seconds. Let's see. And we're going to print. I really want this right. This is too important to not be right. And also double check too. I mean, it would not hurt before you do these, just to double check. And remember, and this is where I screwed it up, is remember, these are never going to be perfectly square. My paper may be perfectly square, but it's not. So after it's pre-pressed, all right, down here, it's measuring just shy of the 375 and whatnot. I'm sorry, 375, 1075, or 10 3/4. All right, so I'm gonna make my template just a hair bigger, just because for this particular one, it just didn't. So just double check it before you print your stuff. All right, so this one will be fine. So it's on the length, and it could be just because it's been being pressed 9 times. This is a 9-panel blanket. So give me 1 second. Hold. Yes, it is. It is an 80 by 20 count. So it's 80% polyester and it's 20% cotton. Give me 1 sec. Lord. Of course, my printer's got to be slower than molasses today. It's got to be slower than molasses. Okay. So we're going to trimmy this up. Okay. Slow and steady wins my race. I can't see any of your comments currently, so please just Please refrain from asking me any questions because I currently have no idea. Give me 1 second. Okay. I'm only going to trim the bottom because I really don't need to see the top. Because as long as my bottom's on, the top will be on. Because I know it's the right length. Okay. Let's see what we did here. Much better. Much better. You know what? I'm going to give another quick repress. See if that helps. See if it just shrinks it up just a little bit more. Play with your, and remember, people, we're dealing with fabric. Okay? There is no easy way to do this. So you really want to just make sure, go through, if you want to, go through and pre-press your entire blanket. Okay? Go through and pre-press it. And then measure each one of your squares before you print all your stuff. Okay? So, mine's going to be slightly off, but we're going to press it anyway. The rest of the blanket's already off, so why not? Give me a second. Let me see what you got going on here. Alright, so here's what I'm going to tell you. Alright. Thank you, Jody. Jody says she loves my shirt. Yes, they are the 9-panel blanket. Thank you to Jen for posting all that information. So, it says, is it so that the sheet doesn't go into the black space where it creates a white line? And that's, understand what you said before. So, I will show you why you didn't want your template too much. And I'll show you a good close-up picture as to why. When Kevin goes to hold this up, you'll see why you don't want your image any bigger than the white space. You want to have it as close to that white space as possible. I'm going to have a little bit of white line. I'll show you guys that in a second. But you definitely want to pre-press your whole blanket. Pre-press it and then measure your squares so that you can go through and resize your template to fit your squares, because again, it's fabric and they're going to shrink, and they're going to even shrink differently. I actually had lint rolled the entire thing already, so don't worry about that. You got to remember, I've been working on this already 2 days. So yes, you do lint roll it. It had already been lint rolled, my entire blanket, just because I sat there doing one square. I figured I might as well do all of them. So that was last night's project. All right. Can you see that?
Sure you can.
Okay. So I will show you different parts of this blanket in a second. I'm going to finish this up, and then we will get rocking and rolling, and I'll show you why this is key. Remember, it is all completely lint rolled, so you guys don't have to sit here and yell at me. Give it a good pre-press. Get it so it's nice and shrunken in. Give it about 10 seconds to do this. A little bit longer if you're in a high moisture area. That would be my suggestion. So you only pre-press the white area, not the whole blanket. Correct. Color that white. Oh, don't you worry about it, Pat. I already got that one. See, and it's funny how it shrinks, because now this works. See what I mean? It's fabric. Welcome to the world of fabric. So here is a correct sized template, right, that I did. And it's just really, that's my only tip and trick. And you know what? I gotta be honest. It's the same way with the vapor ones too. Don't think that this is because this is in, because these are, you know, Amy's and whatnot. It definitely, it's just a blanket issue. It doesn't matter what blanket you're doing. They're going to shrink differently. They're going to do what they need to do differently. So it's definitely not, it's just a fabric issue. It has nothing to do with the actual blanket itself. So lint roll. You guys have to understand, I do a lot of pre-work ahead of time, so I do apologize for that. We'll get this all set and ready, and then I will show you how Kevin come out, and then I'm going to point out some details to you as well. But definitely for the price, definitely. I think she's got them on there. I want to say she's got them in there for like $17.75, which is a bargain because you can get the vapor ones for $23.50 at the major vendors is typically what they're selling them for. So honestly, you're saving a few bucks, which is amazing. The weight is roughly around 1.5 pounds, so they really shrink down nicely. And they can fit into a small box, which is huge, or they can even, what they call the tie-back envelopes from the U.S. Postal Service. So there's that. They really work really well in a tie-back. Just make sure you keep the blanket or the plastic bag that they come in. So, yes. See, I remember that off the top of my head. No, I have never done, Frida, I've never done car mats, and I'm not sure I will. All right. Just a little bit, I moved it, but that's fine. Again, it's a fabric thing, so I'll go through. And this is where having fabric markers does help, but I will teach you some different things and whatnot. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to have my husband come out. He'll be thrilled. You get to meet my husband. Husband!
Hi, I'm the husband.
All right. Let's see. Let's see. Do you realize there's... Hold on. Listen. Nope. Hold on. I will talk to you guys about this in about 2 seconds. Let me just show you some things. Let's get some... I'm going to pull this back so you guys can see it. A much better image. You should do them at the 300 DPI, but I got to tell you, you know what? They are pretty forgiving, these blankets. So, especially because it's on fabric. All right. So while you can't necessarily see it from far away, my image actually right here, and I'll get a close-up of it, my image actually went over this square, and you can actually see, if you really look at it, the black lines of where it printed. That bothers me and my OCD. But down here, even though it's a little bit wonky there, I would do it just a little bit bigger. Again, when you're pre-pressing, pre-press the entire thing. Go through and measure your squares or your rectangles so you know what size they are. All right, and then you can just make it accordingly. We have a guideline. Amy's template is a guideline. This is fabric, okay? If you start complaining and bitching about this, her template, I have to tell you, everything's gonna shrink differently. So use it as a guideline. Don't use it as 100%. Why? Because these shrink. But I like the shrink part of it because it's giving me a much better quality image. You can't beat that. All right. Now let's get up close to the person. Say hi to Kevin.
Hi. Sorry, you hurt some hands straight up, sorry.
Poor Kev. We're going to lower this down anyway, so. Poor Kev. Hello, blanket holder. That would be my husband. All right. Do you see right here? I think you can because I can see it in the camera. You see this black line? My image was larger because, again, I had measured all of my images based on it being done beforehand, okay, before I pre-pressed it. When I pre-pressed it, this thing went shrink and shrink, right? So this, it's going to shrink. My suggestion, again, pre-press everything, double check your measurements. You want to fall just on the outside, and then it will be golden. So like down here, on that bottom one, this last one I did, I actually changed the size of it just a little bit. Amy's guide was 10 by 7.5, and I made it a little bit bigger, and I still probably could have gone a little bit bigger. Okay? Everybody says hi, Kevin.
Hola.
So this is why you really don't want to go bigger than, can you just lift it up just a little bit? This is why you don't want to go bigger than your square too much because you're going to get that black line. Okay? And I know y'all can see it because I can see it. I can see it close up, and I can see it on my screen. All right, so the closer you can get to this box, the better off you are. So pre-press, and then measure your squares, and then you can go from there. Sound like a plan? Oh, say hi to my mom, Kevin.
Hi, Mom. See you in a month. Or so.
All right, let's get this all turned around and we'll talk more about it. All right.
I'll be back with you.
All right, let me get this whole thing back up where it needs to be because I had to get it closer. Mom says hi, Kev. Because she didn't hear Sarah. Dear God. How much are these retailing for? Well, honestly, it's up to you. I know what I charge. And you know what? I'm going to talk to you all about that too. Because I keep getting messages about what I charge for things. And that's got to be the most hot topic issue. I'm not a craft hole by any stretch. I just feel like I'm not going to charge an arm and a leg for something that I know in my area will not sell. Okay? That's how I do it. That's just a me thing. So asking me is probably not the best answer. I retail those bad boys between $50 and $60 and up. Here's where I start. Starts at $50. If I'm going to do... I'm going to show you. If I'm doing just a basic image, I don't have to do any really retouching except just resizing, and I fit it into that space, and it fits almost perfectly, then yes, it's about $50. But if I'm going to be adding a collage where somebody wants to add 5,000 pictures to these blankets, that's going to jack up my price. Okay, so they start out at $50 for just 9 panels. All right, but if I'm going to go into and start adding multiple pictures, that means a little bit more work and time and money for me to do. So then you're looking at least 70. If they start doing 9 panels of these collage style, then yes, I'm charging $70. Get on Walgreens, Walmart, Shutterfly, and price them out. Price out what a 9 panel is. Just kind of get a general idea, and then go from there. That's my suggestion, to be completely honest with you. So yes, if it's just a simple 9 panel, then yes, it's $50, and because they're honestly quite easy to make, and I do make money on them. If I have to do a collage and I have to play with it, it's gonna up to $20, because it means I have to now do a lot more work involved in it. Have I had people argue with me about it? No, not at all. Just because they are getting a heck of a deal for it. And a lot of them just give me the 9 panels and we're off and we're running. So I'm the worst person to ask about pricing. My mom will tell you that. Todd will tell you that. Marvin will tell you that. Everybody will tell you I'm the worst person to ask. So don't ask me about pricing because I'm really bad at it. Good morning, Angie. Yes, Walmart's $80. I mean... So you figure out what you want to do. You figure out what works for you. You figure out what, you're okay with doing it for. You figure that out. You just got to make sure you put your cost and your time and your effort into it. One thing I am learning is if it's just something basic, then I can charge a basic price. But if I have to go in and manipulate a picture, I have to clean up pictures, I have to add a ton of pictures for this as an example, then yeah, you're asking me to do a little bit more work, which means I have to, compensate for that. So yes, that's just, sorry, I'm the worst person. At least I'm honest. I will absolutely be making myself. You really should make ones for yourself. They're great memory blankets, really are. And you can use them as vertical or horizontal. They make great tapestry wall hangings, and you can actually cuddle up with them on the couch, and they're soft enough to do that. So if we run short of an order in the middle of the holiday season, will these be available for more? So here's the thing. So this is on a pre-buy, okay? She just really wants to get everything coming in the door. It takes 30 days to get here. So she has opened it up. You really need to go and order these. This is a hot Christmas item. With that said, this is where we're going to start talking. We're going to do a next 4-part series on everything Christmas in my Christmas in July. That bad boy is on the list. You should stock up immediately. Know that you're going to pay for it now. Know that they're not coming in for 30 days. We want these before Christmas. They're a hot ticket item, and they do make you money. Okay, no matter what you charge on it, you're going to make money on it. So if I can get $25, I make $25 on a blanket, I am golden. Yes, you want to make more. You do you. Okay, but that's for me, and that's what works for me, and that's what I do. So absolutely hot ticket item. I'm going to talk to you guys. I polled all the moderators and admins, and the entire team gave us a list of what was hot for them last year. And when it came to ornaments and stuff of that nature, I'm going to also give you tips and tricks on what colors are coming out and what's the kind of go-to thing. So we're going to be talking about that in the next 4 weeks. So keep that in mind, but definitely get on and order those, because the more we can get ordered, the quicker she's going to be able to get these bad boys in. As for if we run low, I don't know, because it does take 30 days to get here. So I'm hoping that if we do this first order, she might be able to do a second order, so if this is 30 days, if we could get it done, and if we can get her to order by like July 15th, then you're looking at August 15th. And if you guys are really totally game on these, then maybe we can have her place another order like the end of September, so they're in by October, so you have them for November. I'll talk to her about it. That's her thing. That's not a me thing, but that would be where my brain would be at. So there's your answer in the short run, I guess. Yeah, we'll go with that. Good morning, Stanley. Okay, so for the 15 by 15, yes, you can, but you're gonna want to piece it, okay? Or what you can do is make your image so that it fits and it creates a white border, so like a frame around it. You're gonna have to get good at that, okay? So if it's 17 3/4, maybe you want to do your image 14 3/4. All right, so that it ends up with pretty much 1.5 inches or so on either side, or on either end. And then on the sides, you got to figure that out, because remember, you're going to shrink it down. You can create a white frame around every picture. I used to do that too. So figure that part out. And maybe what I'll do is I'll order one so that we can press it, and I can show you how to do that with the 15 by 15. This is leaving. I only had one. I had one shot at this for this show. So there's some things I want to tweak on it, but you know what? It's quite all right. Let's see. I missed it. Amy offering. Yes, these are pre-order. These blankets are pre-order. It takes 30 days to get here. So she wanted me to tell you guys that. It takes 30 days to get here. These are on pre-order. Order. I cannot stress that enough, because these are going to be huge. You cannot get any of the other 9-panel blankets for the cost that she is putting them at. Absolutely not do it. And I mean, snag those bad boys up. All right? You're not going to find them cheaper anywhere else. I'm just saying. Or the quality, because I am just stuck on the quality of them. I love how my image came out. And some of my pictures had some low DPI. Just so you guys are aware, I know that was a whole conversation about 10 minutes ago. Some of my pictures had some low DPI that my daughter had sent me from her cell phone. And because it's that style blanket, they subbed amazing. You would not know that there's probably 3 of those that are pixelated. Just so you know. There's Amy! I didn't even see her sneak in. So, that is what I'm going to tell you with those. So, bye. I've already got some in my cart. Haha, tag beat you to it. So, and the shipping isn't going to be that crazy either, because they really are light. They're nice lightweight. They're going to keep you warm. It has a nice weave to it. Whoa. All right. Next up on the chopping block. All right, let's talk about these things, because these things seem to be vexing people like you would not believe. Where's my image? Oh, it fell on the floor. All right. We'll get to the tutorial on the skirt in about 2 seconds. All right. So, show me, Nikki. Show you what? What am I showing you, boss? Oh, do you want to see the whole blanket? Oh, hold on. Kevin! Hold on, I'll show you the whole blanket. Hold on.
Yeah, I guess I'm trying to be a father as well, trying to guard your doors like this.
Alright, sorry. There you go, boss. It came out awesome. Like, you have no idea. I mean, look at the pictures. I gotta be honest. And couple of those pictures are very pixelated. And I'll go right up close to them so you can see. You can't even tell. I mean, so do you have to have 100% 300 DPI? No, I think some of my images actually have, the center image actually, has a lower DPI. But I'm going to show you that. But it came out amazing. Like, seriously, you have no idea. And a lot has to do with the fact that it doesn't have the colored threads. I truly believe that. All right, because it has black and white. It does. Whoops! It doesn't play off of. I mean, look at the detail. All right, where's the one picture? My daughter's gonna kill me for this when I showed her. There's a picture where she has terrible acne on her face, and you can actually see it. She's gonna kill me for that. But, yep, right here. She's got some acne on her face, and you can actually see it. That tells you the quality. And these were cell phone pictures, by the way. So, just so you know, cell phone pictures are crap pictures. And she sent me all cell phone pictures, and they are just awesome. Awesome! I cannot stress this enough. So, move this back. Thanks, bud.
Please watch out for Brady.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's up right next to the light,
So, I mean, like I said, amazing. I can't even stress that enough. Yes, they are. I sent Nikki a sample for me to finish her chest print. And Amy, this is what I was telling you. I mean, to reiterate for those who have jumped on, they are 20% cotton and 80% polyester. Here's my schools of thought on this, okay? The regular vapor ones have multicolored threads in them. I really feel that those multicolored threads play on the image quality. And yes, they are 100% polyester on the vapor ones, but I gotta be honest, the hand feel is just different. I love the fact that there's a little bit of the cotton in it. It gives it a softer hand feel. Like, I could actually cuddle up on my couch with it and be a happy little camper. It's not scratchy. It's also not super heavy either. They're only about 1.5 pounds. So it's a lightweight blanket, great for shipping because it's not gonna cost you an absolute arm and leg to send it off to your client. That's a bonus. Another part of it, because it is black and white, it can be both masculine and feminine. It's just better. I don't know. And I know that I talked to you guys about the whole shrinkage. Let me reiterate my brain thought. And this could be completely wrong, but let me tell you, from somebody who's pressed a gazillion of these type of blankets, yes, you have to. It's going to shrink. All right, because that's the cotton and it's pulling in all of those threads and it's making it a much tighter weave, okay, while still keeping the softness of the blanket. Again, bonus. So it's pulling it in, tightening up that weave. So when you go to put your image on it, your image is spot on and it's clear and it doesn't look fuzzy. I feel as if it's a wider weave, you'll lose the image quality. So I like that it shrinks up. I like that it gets a nice tighter weave on it and it gives me such a better quality. Okay, so that's my bonus for that. Also, as I said, right off the rip, pre-press your entire blanket. The guide that I gave Amy, okay, that guide is a guide, okay, because it's fabric. Fabric plays differently. Each square may be slightly different. Keep that in mind. Don't get all upset. Don't go printing out your images until you've pre-pressed your blanket. Pre-press every square. And then make sure, double check the image you want in there. Just quickly do it. Go buy yourselves a ruler. I mean, really, I have the best ruler, and if I could find it again, it'd be great. It's an 18-inch ruler. Go find your 18-inch ruler, okay, because that's all you're really going to need. Oh, here it is. Okay, go get yourself an oversized ruler and just quickly measure it and make sure your image fits. You want it just barely around the edge, okay? If you have it too big, anything that's beyond that square, you're going to see a black line, okay, within the area. Why? Because the whole blanket can be subbed Duh. So, yes. That would be something I would do. All right? In a heartbeat. There's also another little tip and trick I wanted to tell you about. So, we're always about product branding around here. Because you can go on the back side of this, all right, put right here your company details, where they got it from. So, for instance, I would put LPB Designs, my email address, my website, my phone number right in this spot. It's not going to affect this side at all because you can actually press on both sides. Put it right there. Put your company details. So when whoever gets it as a gift, it's already on the blanket. No tag required. You're already tagging it on that side. Pro tip. You're welcome. Yes, so literally just make sure that you measure each one of your squares because it might be a little bit off. I measured both of those pictures, the last two pictures I showed you, and the one square I should have gone a little bit bigger. The other one was almost spot on. So again, and trim your picture, all right? I would much rather have you waste a piece of paper and some ink than waste a blanket because you didn't measure it correctly, all right? So pre-press your whole blanket, measure your image, make sure that they fit and coincide, put numbers on it. So this is what you got. So if this is block 1, this is block 1's image, and this is the size that's going to fit. And just keep moving along. But pre-press your whole blanket. That's definitely a key. So if you can't tell, I am completely excited about these blankets. This was something that I've been waiting for her. She mentioned it, and I was like, couldn't wait. So, yeah. Yay! Yeah, measure it after pre-pressing it. Because, again, the shrinkage, and as you're pressing each block, it can change and manipulate the blanket. So measure it after. Definitely do that. That's one of those weird tips and tricks that I'm going to teach you so you don't screw these up. They're an easy press. I did 3. I have mine set at 390 for 70, and it's medium pressure. Beautiful. I mean, absolutely beautiful. You guys saw it, so I'm a happy little camper right now. And for the cost, what? $5 cheaper than what I'm paying right now? Cha-ching. That's right. I do have awesome ideas every now and then. Is that blanket washable? Absolutely is that blanket washable. Wash it up, girl. Throw it in that wash. Let's talk about that for 2 seconds. Please keep in mind, somebody brought up this in our group about mugs and stuff and about washing stuff. I encourage, wash it on cold. Dry it on, don't dry it on a high temp. Not that your washer is going to take the ink or your dryer is going to take the ink out, or the hot water could take the ink out because it's too hot, because our washers and our dishwashers, the same with dishwashers, are running a lot hotter than they used to when sublimation first came around, believe it or not. We're running things a little bit hotter. It can actually dull your image. So I just encourage when you do the washing instructions, and if you're looking for washing instruction templates, I know that Ashley Dodd has made a bunch of them. So head over to Apparicium and look up her templates for that. I encourage you just to say tumble dry light, cold water wash, hand wash only, or highly recommended hand washing, because then let the stupid people of the world do it for themselves, and then you can't get in trouble. You've covered your butt. All right. Hellbound.com is where you get it. All right, moving right along. We've talked enough about that. Okay. So we're going to talk about this and why this was an issue. So here's what I figured out. It's a pressure issue, but I had to tape down because this moved up. I had to tape this down. I had to do wicked heavy pressure on this. I don't know why I thought I had to pre-press. I had to go actually look at the instructions, but don't pre-press it because it makes it go out and everybody's like, well, the template doesn't fit. No, the template does fit. It's just that you don't pre-press them because of the way it squishes and does what it needs to do. All right, so you don't want to be pre-pressing these. At least that's what I found last night. you don't want to pre-press. We're gonna, give me 1 second. I'm gonna cut this bad boy out to make sure that it all lines up, because I used Amy's template, which is spot on perfect if you don't pre-press it. Make sure you lint roll. All right, so we're gonna lint roll, because I did not lint roll this one yet, and I don't need the lint roll police coming after me. Lisa, you know what? I gotta say, I can't say police, because you know, it just means that you guys know the steps, and that's pretty rock awesome. Okay. Yes, I even cut out the curve. Sounds crazy, but I do. This is where I get my kindergarten skills at high work here. You know, because, can you follow the line? Why are you laughing, child? What did she put? Where's my kid? She left.
Nope.
That's what she said. No.
That's what you said in the comment.
Oh.
I said I'm proud of your kindergarten skills.
Oh.
My kindergartner.
My AKA child is proud of my kindergarten skills. Well, wonderful. All right. So, lint roll. Get all the schmutz off of it, and I'll move the camera. Okay. We have lint roll. Do not pre-press. I'm going to put this down for 2 seconds. I'm going to show you. Have you tried any of the seatbelt covers from... No. Nope. I only have Hellbounds. They're pretty standard, to be completely honest with you. Don't mind the mess of the shop. All right. So, I don't pre-press these. All right? Because then the template, look at that. And my template fits. Okay? Why? Because if I don't, it doesn't fit. Now, I want to show you something, especially in the finished one. While it is the white line here, it's because there is this thing right here. Okay? This is bulk. Okay? So, you're not going to get it in there. I just have to tell you that. Okay? It's not going to happen. All right? But it lines up. So, we're gonna tape this. So I did this with Pro Spray on this one, and I found the Pro Spray was just obnoxious. So I taped this one, and the tape worked so much better in my world. So taping it is going to be where it's at for today. Okay? I put this, so it literally just barely covers the edge. All right? Line up my template. Okay? Make sure it's as close as I can, and because again, it's fabric. There's some fabric in this bad boy, so you gotta really pay attention when you're lining these up. All right, again, fabric. I might have a little bit of a issue on mine because fabric is always just so tricky. I can't explain to you guys why it's so tricky, but it is, and it's obnoxious. Really, this is obnoxious. So, I need that coffee. Here you go, Abe. You're welcome. And it got drips all down the side. It's awesome. All right. So, I got this side corner done. And I'm going to shuck this over ever so slightly. See, I'm going to end up with a little bit. God, that annoys the shit out of me. Okay. There might be a little bit of white. You have no idea. I'm so OCD, it's terrible. We'll see how this works. We'll see how this runs. I might have to fix the template. If that's the case, I'll fix the template. Okay, so there we go. We have our product. I'm going to get myself some paper for the bottom and paper for the top. I put it on. I'm leaving it on when I had it on because I think that's what I did last night. You're welcome for the dizzy. Okay. So, it has been lint rolled. I also found if I put it this way, because I have a clamshell. Remember, guys, I have a clamshell. So, swing away, people. Just ignore me. Alright. What is this? Okay, and then I put it down. And it says for 50 to 60 seconds, so I just really gotta pay attention to it. I've got it at 70, so I'll stop it just midway through, or right before it ends. I'll stop it there. But I do a really heavy pressure. I found I had to do a really heavy pressure with these. We'll see if it works, because I did this in one shot last night after doing it. And I might have to adjust. Again, it's one of those things, guys. Tools of the trade. You need a ruler, you need a caliper. This way you can adjust accordingly, because fabric is such a tricky little thing that it could be off by a hair. That template could be spot on for 150 of them, but you're going to end up with 6 that it's going to just totally be screwed up for. So keep that in mind. And press the heck out of it. You got it. That's what we call it around here. You press the crap out of these. All right, so I'm going to pop this at the 10-second mark. Let's pray, shall we? Well, it looks good. You see how it shrinks? Like, holy shrinkage. Oh, and it worked. See, except for right there. So I'm going to want to make my template maybe just a little bit bigger. For me, don't be afraid of them. And I probably will go back through, just so you know, I will go back through and I will fix my template to make it just a touch bigger. But if you've already bought one, just make it just a touch on the longer side. Not necessarily wider, because the wider fits. It's the length. Just give it a little bit of love, people. Give it a little bit of love, okay? Because again, fabric is such a tricky subject. All right, so this is, and you know what though too? It's on the back side is where the issue is. So let's keep that in mind. And nothing a black Sharpie can't fix. Get a black fabric marker. Okay, so there you go. They're awesome, and they're very useful. There, move you around so you see me. They're very useful. People have people have complained and said, well, I've read a report that says these don't work and you should not be using them. As a volunteer firefighter and EMT who spent a lot of time when I was putting car seats in cars, no, they do not. They sit here. Okay, they sit on the chest area.
Nick, pardon me a second. I was told by Jen to ask you to move the fan.
Move the fan?
That fan's doing something to whatever you're doing. Don't ask me.
Oh, turn it off maybe? Ask her what she needs. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna die, Jennifer. Is that better? You hear Nikki's voice in my head saying that when I'm pressing, I'll press this crap out of things. Okay. Ask her if that's better. Anyway, these are a huge lifesaver and can be a huge lifesaver. I know that if I come across and I come on a scene and there's an autistic child and the parents are...
She said she's here.
Well, of course you can hear her. You don't want me to die. She wants me to die. There's no, like, circulation in this room. Jen's making me die. Anyway, going back to my little soapbox spiel, okay? Get over yourselves, okay? If you're reading a report online, unless it comes from a reliable source, it probably came from, and this is going to be point blank, from some dumbass who decided to just not put it on correctly. Hence the reason why we have warning labels on hair dryers about not putting them in the bathtub, okay? Let's think about that for 2 seconds, all right? There's warning labels on things because people did not have to put them in or use them properly, all right? That's why there's a warning label on things. It's the only reason why we have warning labels, okay? But this, from an EMT's point of view, is a huge lifesaver. If I've got an autistic child who is nonverbal, I want to know about it. Because you know what? I can then approach this child a lot differently, especially if these parents are incapacitated and I can't ask them the questions that they need. And I've now got a scared little child sitting in front of me with no knowledge, all right? I've done this in past SASs. where I took one of Stan's lens cloths, put some of the heat bond tape, and I made a pocket on the inside, and I put a card in with all the medical information that was needed, medications and stuff, especially if it's for the elderly and whatnot. These are a huge lifesaver. I don't care which way you shake it and bake it, okay? And that's me just being sassy honest, that this is huge. So if you're questioning whether or not, I would really question the source of why they're having an issue with it. Unless it becomes from a reliable source, back that boat up and keep right on moving. Yes. You really, I mean, these are huge. But I will say this right off the rip, don't put a child's name on it. Okay? Just put that there's a medical alert, they're autistic, you could have nonverbal. I do have some plain ones that you can then add your own text. Here, I just encourage no medical as in the name of the child, age of the child, should be right in here. Just that this is going to alert an EMT or a firefighter that there is something with this child. And then the card on the inside could have their name, their age, their medications, whatever it may be that you want, the person wants to put on it. And I get a business card size and just put a business card in there. And there you go. That's the size you want to do, is a business card size if you're looking for that idea. And use Stan's lens cloths to make the pocket because they are the perfect pocket. You cut them, use some, Brady, you gotta move, dude. Come on.
Hey, Brady.
He's got something in his mouth too. So there's that. There's my preach. There's my soapbox. Again, I'm going to preach it. Because that'll fire me up real quick. I keep losing you. I guess I'll have to wait for the replay. Glad you're saying it again. These are brilliant. Tell it. You go. Right, Miriam? You go, girl. How much do you sell the finished product for? At emergency contact. Yep. Like I said, Stan's, he has a really inexpensive lens cloth, not his high quality ones, okay? Get the ones you can get like 50 for a pack, or 50 in a pack. They're very inexpensive. Cut those bad boys up. They've got a really nice crisp edge on them. They have the pinking sheared edge. Some heat bond tape on 3 sides. Put it in, call it a day. Heat bond that stuff though after you've subbed it, please. Do that after, not before. All right. And then just stick a business card in there and you've got it. So now you've got the best of both worlds. You got both Amy and Stan in one location and you're saving a life. So, you know what? I'm all for it. And there you go. There's my preach. For car seats. Okay. So, for car seats, would that be a no-go? If you're going to do the car seat, all right, they do have, for the handle, the luggage carrier ones that you can put on the handle of a car seat. Now, for regular car seats, there's a couple different avenues we can talk about it. I'll grab a car seat and I can show you how you can add a tag to it. It might not be the seatbelt cover, but I do have an out-of-the-box thinking moment that we will talk about coming up, especially with school safety and whatnot. I'll be doing that probably in August with the school stuff and the back-to-school stuff. So there's an idea that I have brewing for the car seats. But if it's the infant car seat that has the handle, you can just use the luggage carriers for that. But for an actual car seat, I've got to think outside the box moment for that. So we'll talk about that at a later sass. Yep, you could do those. Yep, luggage rack for the baby ones. All right, let's get to the next project. I'm going to do another press, and then we're going to talk about this, because this is going to require me to get the camera up and close up. We're going to talk about how to make a ribbon skirt, how you can pair it with a Coney Island transfer onesie, and how you can make a killing on these, because this is exactly what I've been doing for almost 10 years. So there you go. I'd like to tell you I'm the pro at this one. This is probably the only thing I am a pro at. All right, so I have been dying. You have no idea. I am dying to get these in. So Amy has these. These are her linen placemats. I'm absolutely in love with the linen because it allows for different look. So Stan has the faux burlap. You've seen how I've done the faux burlap ones. You've seen how I've whoops. There we go. Hi. I've done the faux burlap ones before. Lint rolling. for the lint roll Nazis around there. So you can press both sides of hers. But you know how I take his, pretty much, he has a double-sided garden flag that I absolutely love. He actually has placemats as well, but I like the double-sided ones because I can add 2 holidays or 2 different themes to a placemat, which I absolutely love. So I have the faux burlap ones from Stan that I can press on and get one look, but now I have the linen ones from Amy, which I can press and do a completely different look. So, one of my newest designs that's coming out for my Christmas in July is going to be this. It says Old Fashioned Country Harvest. So this is a completely made design that I will be posting out there. I can't wait to see how this presses, to be completely honest with you. I know our school's just, here in the Northeast, my school just got out. So I've already lint rolled. See if this fits. I don't want to be wrong in this. What size is this that it's wrong again? Hold on. Did I grab the wrong one? I might have. I had to redo this about 14 times. Alright, give me 2 seconds to the length is right, the width is right. Give me 1 second. My template game is not strong today. Ugh. And that's because this was not meant to be a, whatchamacallit, it was meant to be something else. Give me 1 second. There we go. And I want this to be 15 and a half. And I want to print. And then we'll talk. And we'll print. And we'll talk. And we'll talk. And we'll print. And yay for talking and printing! Woohoo! Talking and printing.
My wife
Shush at you. I'm gonna need to start drinking wine. At this rate. You know what? My Sunday game is just not strong today. Okay. I can't find my words. I can't find the right size. But anyway, so that's what we're gonna do.
For Precious Sunday.
No. Yes, actually, the template is off. It's not. I don't know why it's not working. So. I tried pulling it up, Amy, from the PNG, and the PNG comes up really small because I did it the way most people would do it, and the PNG just seems to come out small. So I am going to pre-press it and see if it does shrink it down a little bit. So let me pre-press it and see if that helps it, but it's slightly off. Let me pre-press. I'll let you know. Give me 2 seconds. I've already lint rolled it, so now let me see if I pre-pressing it shrinks it. Let me see if it shrinks it any. Oh, Polly. Good Lord. Hopefully it does. I gotta pull this off. Hold on. Wow. I want to put this on the ink and it's gonna totally off-gas real quick. Yup. That's the issue. Still slightly off though. Hold on. I wrinkled it. There we go. I winkled it. Yeah, it's slightly off for me. But hold on, it could be a me issue. It goes right to the edge. No, I can make it work. I hate that I have to make it work. I don't want to have to force it either. I want to just lay this out and go. So, yes, it fits at 15, at 15.2, 15.1.25. It fits, but you kind of got to make sure you really pay attention to what you're doing. So I think I would make it slightly larger. Only because you've got newbies working on this. Whereas I might take the time to really play with it. You got newbies that might not want to. So I made mine slightly bigger. With the bleed, I did 15. And I like the 15 because it gives me a good bleed. So the 15.5 is what I just did. Just so you know. Alright. Yes, it does shrink after pre-pressing, so that did help a little bit. But I do want my bleed a little bit bigger because I really want to make sure I get into all of those fibers. And if for some chance it is wonky, again, it's fabric. So if it is wonky, I want to be able to have a little bit of leeway room. All right. That's kind of huge for me. That's just me. All right. Put some potato pepper down. There we go. We're going to press this. We're going to see how it works. I can't wait to see how this red turns out because if anybody knows me, I love the color red when it comes to this. So, put this down. Do y'all need to see me press this? I don't think so. I didn't think so either. Y'all know how to press. You ain't silly. Okay, so two things. Pre-press it, it'll shrink it down. It's fabric. Remember, the edges and the corners are not going to be 100% square. Why? Because it's fabric. So, what is the rule of thumb today? If it's fabric, know that your template may be kind of wonky. So, just keep that part in mind when you're doing anything that has to do with fabric. Pre-press it, get it down to its smallest. The seatbelt covers, those are the only ones you don't pre-press. I mean, they squish out and go funny from the template. So if you pre-pressed it, just go and make your template a little bit bigger so that it fits. And you absolutely have to have heavy pressure on those for me. At least that's what I did to get them all because of the Velcro. And I taped it. I found that the Pro Spray just wasn't a fan. So some things I can use Pro Spray on. There, gotta find the words again. Pro Spray on, some things I can't. So there you go. There we go. Yeah, just a little bit. You know what? I want a little more bleed on it. Let's see how this looks. Oh my word. Big bird. I cannot even oh my. Like legit. I almost want to cry. It's so pretty. I can't hold it. It's too hot. But oh my god, I can't wait for Amy to see this. And she hasn't even had coffee yet. We need to see you doing everything because we need to be a pain. I know! Damn you, Jody. You ready? Am I wearing... No, I'm not. These are leather. Listen, if she starts doing laser cut leather, I am totally all about it. But no, these are leather, believe it or not. But these are probably about the size of the ones that she is making. They're probably about spot on the size. So if you want to know what a dangle oval looks like, there you go. But no, they're not. My hair needs to... You're such a hoot. Oh, I'm a hoot, all right. There's no doubt in my mind I'm a hoot. This is why they all keep me around. At least I'm entertainment for Sunday. Sorry, this girl's hair's got to go up. It's getting way too long, and it's way too hot because Jen made me take off the fan. So I'm dying over here. All right, you want to see now it's cooled off? Ready? Ready? Look how pretty. That red is amazing. Oh my God. Hold on. Oh my God. How pretty is that? I mean, look at the detail, too. You can see all my shadowing. Like, legit, it's gorgeous. So, I have, this comes in a set, believe it or not. This will come in a set for the placemat. I had to reconfigure it because I have this as a coaster, I have it as a flag, and I have it as placemats, but they all had to be resized proportionately. You can't just take one and move it to the other. But I also have a Christmas version. And sneak peek idea, just so you know, for, like I said, we've talked about Christmas, and we're Christmas in July, and my theme this year is all about memories. So that is what you're going to see, and that's what I'm inspired by this year, is memories. So I have a Christmas wagon that I actually took, that I have a wagon here, took a picture of it, and I made it into my own. I have some old-fashioned toys that I've literally just sat and been playing with and whatnot. So here you go. This will be the Thanksgiving one, or the fall harvest one, and then next week, I will press the Christmas side of this so you get dual purpose out of one placemat, which I think that's why I love the dual purpose. That's why I use stands double-sided, because I can get 2 looks out of it. But look at that. Oh my God. Like, seriously, legit. I saw correction when printing. Place it says check, include bleed line. Not sure. Right? I mean, you cannot beat that color. I've been dying to show you guys this. I've had this for months now. I've been working on this, working on this collection, and I could not wait to show you. So there you go. That is absolutely stunning. We good? Amy. Amy. Oh my God. I'm so happy. Listen, that's 2 happy girl moments and 1 sash. You really cannot complain. Okay. I'm going to get the camera so that this is set up a little bit closer, because you're actually going to see me do it as if you're sitting in front of me, so that it's literally facing you. It's how we're going to do it. It's super easy. Let me pull some stuff out. I'm going to tell you what the stuff that you're going to need and what we're going to talk about. So let me clear this off really quick. I'm going to shut off the heat press because Jen made me shut off the fan. We're going to talk about different things of what you can use, what's best not to use, what you should use, blah, 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 blah. Oh. I like old-fashioned. I think old-fashioned works best. I don't want old-fashioned country Christmas. No, I want old-fashioned country harvest. But thank you. I appreciate you. My facial expressions really need to find their inside voice. Thank you, Miriam. Thanks. I need to just say something because I'm reading the comments and I absolutely have to understand. I do this as a volunteer, okay? Sitting here nitpicking me is probably not the nicest thing either, okay? Yes, do I take a little bit of offense to it? Yes, because it is my design and you guys are ripping it apart currently. I do this every Sunday on my own will, and I use my own supplies, and I do this. So kindness goes a long way right now. I'm sorry, my facial expressions don't know how to use their inside voice right at the moment. Okay. And yes, I am taking offense to it because it actually is correct too. Hence the English teacher I actually talked to about. Zeke is watching you. Hi, Zeke! Zeke's her puppy. Okay, so let's talk about ribbon for 2 seconds, okay? Anyway, so here we go. Here's what we got. When you're making a ribbon, I have the measurements too. So if you're going to do a ribbon skirt for a 12-month-old, you want your pieces, your end result pieces, to be about 7 inches long. So when you fold it in half, this will be about 7 inches. This is a little long, and there's a reason I do them a little bit longer. Okay, so you cut them. All right, I'm going to show you how you can get constant pieces so you can wrap them, and I'll show you how to do that. How you do fabric. So you go get your fabric, okay, for 2 seconds, and here's what you do for the fabric. All right, I just go get the fat quarters. All right, I sit and I cut all of these and then rip them, because it will literally cut me a straight line. All right, you can cut off all these threads, by all means, cut them off, but you want the frayed look here, okay, because that's what gives it a more country feel. And then you go back through and you cut this. So you do this, and I cut off all of these pieces, right? So there you go. Don't worry about this little bit here either. You can pull that so it goes straight down. This is where you're going to loop it, so you're not even going to see it. All right, so you have this. I'm going to get my little tool of trade here. Let me grab my tool of trade. Tool of trade, where are you? So you're going to ask me what my famous tool of trade is. You decide what 7 inches is, right? Here's my famous tool of trade. You're going to laugh. I use frames. I use books. I use whatever is handy. So this measures at 8 inches, which is perfect. Okay. So what you do is... Where did that? There it goes. Okay. All right. When you're measuring for your ribbon, okay, you literally, if you want it to be consistent, come around as many times as you need. All right. And I'm going to show you different things and explain. So you just come around, come around, come around, come around. And then you, wherever you started here, you cut these all off and then they're all equal. Close, right? They're all going to be close. But then this way you're not sitting there going 1, 2. Just wrap it around a dry erase board. All right? A book. Something that's roughly about 8 inches wide. Okay? This is for a 12-month-old. Just so you know. Okay? So that's a 12-month-old. You can add feathers. So you can make it really froofy and furly, and you can add feathers to your ribbon skirt if that's what you want. I've done feather skirts. Obviously, you can add fabric and you can add ribbon. So what you want to do is you want to have grammar Nazis are really going to love me today. A variety of different style ribbons, shapes. You don't want nothing that's too overly big. I usually also throw in some lace in there, so it kind of adds a more country vibe to it. And you pick and play off all the colors that are in this. And you know what? Then you can even set it up as your pattern as well. So this is how you work this. The fabric is a really great thing. Again, you can get it for like $1.99. I encourage 2 of at least every one that you use because you really want a nice full ribbon tutu. You do it the same way to make tulle, by the way. You do the tulle, wrap it around, and that's how you make a tulle skirt as well. All right, so that's how that works. All right, so there we go on this right there. Oh, sorry, I was just reading things. Oh. So there we go. So this is how this works, right? Are we good? All right. So I'm going to get the camera to where it's facing. I'm going to explain some things. All right. So when I do a tutu, I don't use the elastic. Okay. You don't use elastic. And here's why. 1, your little peanut could be a little chunky monkey or it could be a really tiny peanut. All right. So I use ribbon and then I just tie it in a bow when we're done. All right. I actually have this in my door frame. I have 2 the hook and eyes. I have the eyes in either side of my door frame, and I tie it just like I do here because then it's up my height. But you can make, out of your Lincoln logs that you have, you want 20 inches. Okay, so when you're putting it through, you want to be able to have 20 inches solid across. All right, and then this way that you know it's going to fit the tiniest of peanuts or the chunkiest of peanuts. Okay, so I'm going to teach you how to put this on. Super easy. The reason, like I said, I don't use the elastic. Elastic stretches really bad when you add these on, especially because you're going to pull them really tight. So now you've taken that elastic and you're stretching it and you're stretching it, and it never looks correct. You can also use those stretchy headbands with the bazillion holes. Again, you're going to get the same result. You're going to get that pulling effect that you just don't need. So why fix what's not broken? Okay. So I'm going to literally bring this down here. All right. Did this with my friend Becky. This is exactly how I did it with her. Okay. So here you go. Super easy. You take, loop it, All right, so you've looped it. Let me see if I can bring this back just a little. Okay, so you've looped it, right? Loop it in half. Come up behind. I'm gonna move my camera up just slightly so you can see the finger work. Okay, come up slightly from behind and you create your hole. You see where my fingers are? Come down and just grab and pull. We'll do this again. Don't worry. Okay. We'll pick a different ribbon. So you fold your ribbon in half. All right. Come up from behind. Grab through and pull. And you really want to tighten this on, okay? And then you start creating your pattern. So you put in all in one. You put all one of like, whoops, of your fabric in. Okay, so you're putting all your fabric in. And then you go through and you add like this into it. All right? And then you add on the next side. So don't scrunch them up. All right? You want to fill in. So you know that like this last one is over here and this last one's here. So you know you have to fill this section in. All right? So I'm going to go through up from behind and pull and tighten. Up from behind, pull and tighten. Okay? You want to try to make these as even as possible when you're putting them together. Okay? And that's how you start filling in this tutu. Okay? Thank you. So this is how you pull it in. All right? So, we'll do it again. Fold this in half. You would take off all your threads, but you want this nice frayed look. Okay? So, fold it in half. Try to get your ends as close. Come up from behind. Take your fingers and basically shove these ends up through that hole. All right? And tighten. That's it. Now, I want to show you something too that I was telling my friend Becky about. Okay, so now you've got this all filled in. Say this was your skirt. Well, these are all going to get wonky, right? Well, let's say you want to have this set on the top. So what you're going to do is you're going to go through and you're going to pull these up to the top so that this becomes the back. All right? And that's how that works. So like I'm going to want to put one in here. All right? And then you just pull them up through. And you just keep filling it in. And the nice part is because you can keep just shrinking this down. You see how tight that looks? And then you just keep adding more. All right. And this, like I said, 20 inches is for a peanut. And then what you do is when you're done, you pull this all off and you just tie a bow in the back. This way, let's say the peanut is a little bit, mommy can spread it out a little bit for her or scrunch it up a little bit tighter. So you don't want these super tight on here. You don't want a super tight one when you're doing the 20 inches. You want it to be kind of loose. All right. When you're first doing it. Okay. Kind of loosen it up a little bit. So they're just like the ends are touching just barely. Okay. And then once you get your 20 in, you have a beautiful ribbon skirt. Now, if you notice, I have some that are a little bit on the wonky side. This is where I would go through and literally trim it all up and make them even. You could use pinking shears for the ends of those. That would be a great look. You can add glitter ribbon. My suggestion is this. All right. Love to know how to add the feathers. Same way. Hold on, I'll show you right now. I shall show you. All right, hold on. The feathers are super easy. You add the feathers the same exact way, Stephanie. Same way. So, you cut your feathers to length, right? Fold it in half. It's going to be hard because it looks like I've got a freaking ostrich right here. So, fold it in half. Come up from behind. Grab your ends just like you do your ribbon. And pull it. And then you'll trim it. But if you start putting that feather, I mean, look, watch. You start adding these feathers in between this ribbon, or you do lace with it. Do feathers and lace is absolutely gorgeous. I've done feathers and lace before. And you just add it. I mean, how fun and fancy is that? No, glitter ribbon, you have to decide on the ribbon. And we're going to talk about ribbon in about 2 seconds. You really want soft ribbon that's pliable. if you get a stiff ribbon, then it's not going to work. You really don't want a stiff ribbon. You want something that you're going to be able to work with. So you really want ribbon that's going to work. Yes, I do use glitter ribbon, but the glitter ribbon that I have is not stiff. So yes, you can use glitter ribbon, but it's a different kind than what you're thinking of. God, now there's feathers everywhere. I'm going to start breathing in feathers. All right, so that's what you want to do. Any questions so far? Are we good? Good morning, Carol. Yeah, I make a lot of these in a year. I can post the bazillion pictures that I have made and the different ones. And this is also a great way by using this fabric, how you can theme it out without actually having to go press fabric. Again, because the fat quarters are ideal for this. So this just makes it fun. It's different than your actual tulle tutu. You can add tulle as a filler. So this is a great way to market too for first birthdays, for photographers, for first birthday outfits. This is a definite must-have. You don't use glitter tulle. That stuff is the devil. Ha! Trick! Pro tip to using glitter tulle. Hairspray. That is correct. Use hairspray. You're going to think, what? Yes. So what you do is, yes, oh, hello, now you're a little bit too high. What you're going to do is when you're wrapping it around and whatnot, when you cut it and you get it on there, yes, you're going to get it on the floor. But if you don't want it beyond after you get it on the floor, then you hairspray the tulle and it'll stay. The glitter will stay. While you're working on it, be prepared to have it in your eyes and your hair and up your nostrils and your fingernails, because there's no way around that. But after you're done with your skirt, if you want to leave the glitter still on it and not have your client wear it all over the place, just add some hairspray to your tulle. Pro tip. How much do you charge for these? It depends. It really depends on what size. So I make them as small as newborn all the way up to, I've made them all up for an 8-year-old. So it really just depends on how much ribbon I need to put into it and the size. So for me, for a newborn, I'm charging between $20 and $25 for these because ribbon's not cheap. And I go to Ribbons and Bows Oh My is the website I go to. Ribbons and Bows Oh My is the name of the company. That's where I get all my bulk ribbon from. There's other places, by all means, but I've been using them for years. I don't typically go buy the Walmart ribbon because when I'm really in a grind making these, I don't have time to go to the Hobby Lobby or the Home Depot. No, I don't have time to go anywhere else. So I will definitely order and get it in, and I can get it better by the bulk. So that's where you go. Don't go to Home Depot to get ribbon. I quit. I'm done. I'm tanked out. All right. Are we good? So far, we are looking at the inside of the skirt. No, that's the skirt. Did I miss something, Jody? I may have. What's the length for a larger size? I'll have to look at my notes, but I know for, and you can actually Google search. Let's say you need size 8, skirt length for a size 8. And it'll come up with different sizes, but there's ones that I use that are tried and true, and I always go just above the knee for them. For a 12-month, I use, it's about 7 inches, is about the end result of my ribbon. Okay, so this will measure, once I'm done, will measure about 7 inches. You go about an inch shorter for 6 to 12, another inch shorter for anything below that. Does that make sense? Is there a chart and guide for different sizes? I will definitely put one together. Okay, before I forget, I get to mention the member of the month. That's right. I get to tell you who is our member of the month, where they get to have discounts and different ones through all of our admins. I believe all of our admins participate. So that is that time of the day where I get to announce who that is. And I'm super excited because I haven't done it yet. Yay! I'm going to wait for everybody to get in. Yes, you can pull the wire out of the sides of a wire ribbon. Absolutely, you can. But just make sure that it's not a stiff ribbon, because stiff ribbon just doesn't work. Okay, are we ready? All right, so our member of the month this month has done her due diligence in our group. How do you become a member of the month? That is the greatest question in the world. You have to participate in our group by answering questions, making posts, not getting yourself written up by the principal, and you will be good as gold. So that's how it works. The more active you are in our group, the chances are of you becoming our member of the month. Our member of the month gets fun discounts. Like, I can tell you that our discounts for our graphics designers, I think, are 15% off our entire store. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what we do. I think Todd and Marvin have their own stuff, and you also have Stan and Amy who have their stuff as well. I know we have a couple other admins that offer such wonderful goodness. So that's how you become the member of the month here at the Southern Moore University. So, ready? Here we go. The member of the month, who happens to be here today, which I am so excited, is Jessica Trant. That is right. Jessica Trant, you are our member of the month. Woohoo! For being the member of the month. So, you, my dear, have to contact Amy because you have to give her your beautiful mugshot. And she will be up on our banner for the entire month of July. So welcome and congratulations to Jessica Trant. I am so excited that you are the member of the month for our Sublimation and More group. Woohoo! So there you go. That is so awesome. You know, please, if you want to go battle head to head for the member of the month, you got to be able to post, you got to be able to answer questions, be helpful in our group as much as you possibly can, and that ups your chances. So there you go. Jessica Trant, T-R-A-N-T. I believe that's how you say her last name. Yep. So congratulations to her. I look forward to seeing who we have for August, but for right now, she gets to enjoy the entire month of July and the member of the month perks that she gets to have. So congratulations again to Jessica Trant. So I'm going to quickly wrap up everything that we need to do because I will be done before noon today, right? Is it noon yet? What time is it? I don't know what time it is. I have my phone in front of me. Well, it is in front of me, but anyway. So here's the recap on everything. We talked about a ribbon skirt and how to make those, so go back and catch the rewind. It's really quick and easy. If they take you longer than 20 minutes, then you're just not doing it right. You definitely want to have, if you're going to have 20 inches of fun, you definitely want to make sure that you have at least 2, if not 3, of every color that you have. Best fillers for your ribbon skirt happen to be fabric, because you can get the $1.99 fat quarters at any fabric store, and they make a great filler to adding ribbon, adding lace. Lace is beautiful with them. It gives it a great country vibe. Pair that with a Coney Island transfer onesie, and you have got a successful first birthday outfit. So there you go. We also talked about the, I don't even know if I should show it right now because it kind of miffed, but this is the linen placemat that you can get from Amy, and the design and whatnot is from me, which, well, whatever. Then we talked about the seatbelt covers, and why you definitely, I feel like you need to tape them down and not use the Pro Spray because you get this weird kind of craziness going on. And so what I did was I taped it down and I added a lot more pressure. Do not pre-press these because it does make these wider and bigger than what the template is. So these are not a pre-press type item. We also talked about the blanket from Amy, which is on a pre-buy, and it takes 30 days to get here, and you need to hurry up and go snag these, okay? Because honestly, these are amazing. Again, you want to pre-press. You want to pre-press so that it shrinks down your rectangles so that they're a lot more true to size, and kind of tighten them up a little bit, because again, these are a soft feel because there is 20% cotton in them. So you want to tighten those fibers up to give yourself a much better press. So that's what you want to do with these. They're soft hand feel, something you could definitely cuddle up with on the couch, or you can hang it as a tapestry or on a quilt hanger. So there's that as well. I do believe I do believe that was it. So there you go. So that is it in a nutshell. Starting next week, I start my 4-part series on Christmas in July. We're going to build up to the July 21st, where I'm going to set up my complete tablescape, tree and all, with all the stuff that we have talked about and learned about over the last couple weeks. And what we're going to do, I'm going to have lots of different things we're going to talk about as well. I have a list that I've compiled of all the stuff that's up and coming, so we're going to talk about that, what sells for Christmas and whatnot, and what designs are hot for this Christmas as well. So we've got a lot to talk about in the month of July. And then I'm going to take a little bit of a break in August because I get to go on vacation with the fam. It is my last family vacation before my son's senior year starts. So we're going to go do that. So there we go. So then we will be talking about things. And then at the end of August, I plan on doing my 1-year special. And I am hoping it will be epic, just because it'll be 1 year that I have been doing the sass and being totally sassy and crassy with you guys. So there you go. So that is it in a nutshell. I hope you guys enjoy the show. If you have any questions, please still continue to ask. I do go back, I do check, and I do answer. So until then, you guys have a great Sunday, and I'll see you on the flip side.